Okay, this is Chapter 15, Fair Game Review, journal page 347 and 348. And we're finding the area of these figures, which should be pretty quick and easy, but we'll see how it goes. Here we just have three rectangles. So we have to look. This is 9 by 3 right here. So 9 by 3, 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, length times width, of course. And if this is 7 over here, and this is 3. That leaves 4 for this length right here. So this is a 3 by 4, which would be 12. And this is another 3 by 4, which would be 12. So add these up to have our partial areas. We have 12 and 12 and 27. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5. 51 meters squared. For that first one, 51 meters squared. The second one over here, we've got two different things going on. First, let's take this rectangle because that's pretty nice and easy. For area of a rectangle, it is length times width, which in this case will be 5 times 14, which is 70. So the area of the rectangle is 70. But we've got this half circle over here. Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared. We want a half circle, so we'll cut it in half when we're done. The radius, if it's 14 all the way across, remember the radius is halfway across, will be 7. So this would be pi 7 squared, which would be 49 pi. Now, we do have to have half of that, not the whole thing. Half of 49 will be 24.5. So 24.5 pi. We cannot combine these terms like we did over here. We just added all of the areas together because they're unlike terms. I have a pi term and a constant. So we just leave it 70 plus. Actually, I like to put my variable term first, and we're treating pi like a variable here. So it would be 24.5 pi plus 70, all in parentheses, meters squared. For number 3, I have a triangle and a rectangle. The rectangle is a 5 by 12, so we have length times width, 5 times 12, 60. So this is 60. Here we have a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So the area of a triangle, this was area of a rectangle. So we have this being 1. And if that's 1, and this is 5, and there's another one over there. So this is the base of this triangle is 7. So 1/2 times 7 times the height of the triangle is this 4 right here. Well, 1/2 of 4 is 2, and 2 times 7 is 14. So the area of the triangle is 14. We add those two together, and we have 74 inches squared. Over here, we do just have a parallelogram. The parallelogram, an area of a parallelogram, is base times height. And we have a base right here and a height right here of 9 inches. So we could just do area of a parallelogram, base times height, would be 19 times 9. Well, 19 times 10 is 190. And if I take one of those 90s off, I'd be at a 171 inches squared. However, we could also take it as a triangle, a rectangle, and another triangle. The area of this triangle is 1/2 base times height, 1/2, 12 times 9. So 6 times 9, which is 54. Area of this rectangle, another 54. So I'll put area of a triangle again, and I'll just put 54 because it's the same. And here we have a 7 times 9 rectangle. Area of the rectangle, 7 times 9 is 63. So I have a 54, a 54, and a 63. And we have 54 and 54 is 108. Plus 60 would be 168. Plus 3 is 171. So we could have just used the area of the parallelogram or cut it into 3 shapes and add their areas. Either way, we get 171 inches squared. Down here, we could look at this as 3 rectangles. That's the first way I looked at it. And this first one, 5 by 15. So area of a rectangle, which is length times width, which would be 5 times 15, which would be 75. That's the big rectangle. And here I have a 1 by 3. So area of this other rectangle, length times width, 1 times 3 is 3. And don't forget this 3 over here as well. So I have a 3 plus a 75 plus a 3, which would be 81 feet squared. Here I have 2 triangles. I have a 4 by 10 and then an 8 by 17. So area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 times 10 times 4, which would be 20. Area of triangle, the second triangle, the big one, is 1/2 8 times 17, which would be 4 times 17, which is 2 times 34, which is 64. What is it? 4 times 17. 28, 68. Add those two together, and we get 88 inches squared. And then for the last one down here, on this side anyway, you're carpeting 2 rooms of your house. The carpet costs $1.48 per square foot. How much does it cost to carpet the 2 rooms? So we'll find the area first. We have a 10 by 18 for 180, a 10 by 12 for 120. Add them together to get 300 square feet. And then it's $1.48 per square foot. While 100 times 148 would be 148, and I have 3 of those. So it's at 24, 12, 14, for $444 to carpet the room. But it's probably ugly carpet anyway, so don't do it. Second side, just finding the area of circles. All of them are area of circles here. And remember, the area of a circle is pi r squared, where r is the radius. Here they gave us diameter, so we just want radius would be 10. So that's pi 10 squared, which equals 100 pi inches squared. Over here for number 9, same formula, pi r squared. So pi 6 squared, 36 pi square meters. Number 10, area equals pi r squared, which would be pi 12 squared, which is 144 pi square centimeters. Number 11, area of a circle is pi r squared, like I've been saying. Pi 7 squared, because only the radius, obviously. And we get 49 pi feet squared. Well, couple more times here. We've got area equals pi r squared, which would be pi. Now the radius is 12.5, so we have to do 12.5 times 12.5. And 12.5 times 12.5 is obviously 156.25 pi, don't forget the pi, yards squared. Here, area equals pi r squared equals pi 15 squared. 15 times 15 is 225. So we have 225 pi square millimeters. And then finally on the last one, if we're looking just for the area of the shaded region, we'll get the area of the large region and subtract out the area of the smaller, not shaded region. So this is 3, and this is 10. Then if I were to go from this center point all the way to the edge, I'd have a radius of 13 for the larger circle. So we would go, area of the circle is pi r squared. It would be pi 13 squared. So for the circle, we would have 169 pi centimeters squared. And the area of the smaller circle would be pi r squared, pi 3 squared, 9 pi. So if we take the larger circle, subtract out the smaller circle, we would get 160 pi. Don't forget the pi. Muy, muy important. 160 pi square centimeters. Well, I hope that helped. Hopefully it went pretty quickly and easily. Head on over and answer the questions.